Hi, I'm Roman, and this is Anatomy of a Shot with Film Reframed. Today we're talking about this image from Moonlight. What I love about this image is that it's so natural, in a very natural setting, a very human setting. It doesn't look highly fabricated, it doesn't look super slick or manufactured or orchestrated, and yet there's so much visual intention to the way this image is laid out. It's a deceptively thoughtful composition. The first thing I notice is our focal point here, Juan, and remember we're always trying to see where our main point of interest is in the composition first. And then, my eye notices a second point of interest, Little. So we've got our primary point of interest and our secondary point of interest, the two characters we want to be looking at in this image. The thing I see that's helping us really focus on these characters is this nice value flag here. We've got a nice frame for them to exist within. This window is creating a great flag of negative space that allows the silhouettes of our characters to pop right off of it. The high contrast of the characters' dark faces flagged against the light value really draws our attention right away. We also have these areas of visual rest keeping our attention away from the edges of the frame and contained to the center. First, we have this person out of focus in the foreground, and our eye is going to disregard someone who's out of focus. And then we've got another person over here on the right. We can't really see their face, so our eye knows we're not supposed to pay attention to them because they're out of focus and we can't see their face. So our brain makes them a visual rest too, and that's blocking us into the composition from this side. So really our field of vision is getting narrower, stopping our eye from moving around. We've got a more limited area of space for our eye to bounce around in within this composition. We've also got a lot of great dynamic lines, leading lines. We've got a nice dynamic diagonal with the angle we've chosen on the bar. So we have these nice diagonal lines moving us through the shot, helping to guide our eye within the space. You'll also see that the backs of the chairs here, right? This implied line of the bar stools, were just nice and locked in, really dialed in. And the dynamic lines guide our eye to this little scene between the two characters. Lastly, I want to point out how sophisticated and intentional the use of color in this image is. You've got a scheme of these warm orange and rust type colors throughout the space, right? You've got a backdrop, a wall, and the attire on the woman in the foreground. And this ketchup bottle in the background, flowers outside, and the little parking stopper outside. All these nice warm reds, right? Here in his shirt as well, very harmonious. All these nice analogous warm tones that are really drawing us into the center of the frame. So much of this composition is either one of these warm tones or a light gray, so anything that isn't really stands out, which is why blues and purples in his patterned shirt here really pop. Additionally, the pattern, the texture of his shirt, it really stands out against the flat color of the background. So it's got this nice clean value flag, it's got these great dynamic diagonals, we've limited the frame with these clever and beautiful visual rests, and finally these nice beats of white are carrying us through the composition. Check this out, this nice 1, 2, 3 sort of feeling, right? We're going 1, 2, 3, bouncing through the composition very elegantly. It feels really good. This is such a great shot. I appreciate it so much because it doesn't feel forced. It's very elegant. This movie's about the characters, right? It's meant to feel real and familiar, not overly designed or stylized, not Hollywood glossy. And we want to feel that this is a place in the real world. We want to feel that life is going on around our characters and that they're part of that life, part of a community, but not in a busy or distracting way, just in a way that the shot feels populated and real. So all of this really supports the overall tone of the film, which is grounded and lived in, and that's a big part of what makes this story so affecting.